Alright, thank you guys for joining me. It's been a few days since I've played. Well, I'm actually kind of lying. I did play, but the recording went bad, and so you missed probably about an hour's worth of nothing. I didn't do anything. So, yes, let's let's do the fun thing. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you to everyone who watches the series. I know it's like a dozen of you, but I still love you for it. And you give me an excuse to keep playing, which you have no idea how much I need that, because... Yeah. Where am I going? Alright. Oh. Crossing back across the road, there is this house right here. I'm tired, but my work shift starts in just a few hours. It's not enough time for me to catch a nap. And I really should be playing House Flipper because there's a demand. A lot of people like to see that. But House Flipper puts me in a very...
We can use this.
...calm situation. Like, it puts me in the frame of mind where I just want to sleep. And... idea. Oh, well, I guess there's still bad guys here. Oh. Things despawned when I ran in here? Trying to... Is he laughing at me because I got knocked down, or was he just laughing to laugh? Guess it's not always about me, huh?
To Apocrypha with you.
Hi guys, don't mind me. Looking for something. Apparently here. Oh, some this way maybe? Oh, I see it. I see it. What? Yelling at me? They are yelling. Well, to be more specific, you're yelling at Xander. Xander, try not to pay attention over the rift path, will you? The gross spider over there that I feel like needs to die. Let's kill these. I hate it.
Good find, cohort.
To say. Play with that guy. Any more spiders than we have to because ew, spiders. Not exactly sure where I want to go. I mean, I do and I don't. I really should get like either a bank NPC or a dude I can sell to. We're gonna come back to this one quest that we started like a century ago. Trying to collect that. I don't know why it didn't let me, but it's
Another chance at perfection.
volcano. Volcano here. Volcano? Oh, volcano. Supposed to be something. Fun. Here.
Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
I'm gonna run over here really quick. Felt like it was a lot closer. Get to it. There it is.
Well, that was a waste of time.
Why is that?
No one goes to Salem Mora anymore, and now I can see why. Getting badgered by priests and buoyant armigers isn't worth seeing the one impressive relic they keep at the shrine. Is that where you're headed?
What shrine? What's going on?
The Shrine of St. Voorhees? Patron saint of House Telvanni? It's the only reason why anyone would go to Salem Mora. I stopped by to see the relic of St. Voorhees, but the High Priest wouldn't even let me get close enough to get a good look.
What's so special about this relic?
I didn't stay long enough to find out. Apparently, it's an honor just to be in its mere presence. Didn't feel like anything special to me. If you're headed that way, maybe you can see what all the fuss is about.
Sure, I'll head over to the shrine and see what's going on.
Good luck, outsider. You're going to need it.
Why did you say it that way? You're making me feel a little suspicious. Thief to catch a thief.
Quality material makes for quality goods.
Story problems in a minute. We wanted to be here anyway. Hello? Hello. Okay.
Good find, cohort.
This is your last heist, Lock of Rosgard. Mark my words.
The talisman of St. Voorhees will be mine. And I'm all yours, Relassi, if you can catch me.
The Lark of Rosgard is so smug when he's got the high ground. He won't be so smug when he's level with my boot. And his little disappearing act. Let me get my hands on him and I'll make him disappear.
Alright, what's going on here?
That fetching thief has been a thorn in my side for far too long. He's planning to rob the shrine at Salem Mora of the sacred relic of St. Voorhees. I need extra hands if I'm to stop him. Yours could do. Are you looking for work?
Oh, what would you need me to do?
Stand in for me at the shrine and the Khajiit caravan nearby. Ask questions. Search for any clues or suspicious activity and assure the High Priest that I have everything under control. Help me, and I'll make sure you're compensated for your time.
I'll help.
High Priest Treelan will be your point of contact at the shrine. He seems insistent the Khajiit are involved in the heist somehow. I have a feeling they're only guilty of poor timing. Meet me back here when you're done.
Who are you, and how did you get involved in all this?
I'm Relassi. I'm a buoyant armiger, and I serve the will of the Tribunal. I'm fully aware that I may be more straight-laced than other armigers you've met. No need to remark on it. My standing orders are to apprehend the Lark. That's why I'm here.
Sounds like you and the Lark of Rosgard have history.
History. That's one way to put it. The others in my order seem to delight in romanticizing this cat-and-mouse dynamic the Lark plays up between us. I tell you, there's nothing poetic about persistently playing the fool in someone else's story.
So he's captured your, so he's escaped your capture before? When?
I can detail the charges of his past exploits once we've caught him. Arrogant fetcher might even tell you himself. See, he has to evade me every time. I only have to capture him once. By Vivek, and with your help, today's going to be the day.
Who is this thief, and why is he so interested in this relic?
The Lark of Rosgard is a slippery, pompous, no-good brigand. He plots his exploits and picks his marks to sow misery, reap notoriety, and make my life difficult. I know very little about the relic. You might ask about it.
You don't know anything about what the Lark is trying to steal?
The Talisman of St. Voorhees is exactly what you'd expect. It's gaudy and ancient, and the High Priest will no doubt be thrilled to enlighten you on its history. Those details don't help me in stopping the Lark, which is my primary concern.
How do you know I'm not working with the Lark?
Please, the Lark of Rosgard enlist an accomplice? That fetching glory hound would never. That fetching wasn't in regards to his looks, by the way. His mask prevents me from making any objective assessment. What else did you want to know?
Why do you want me to investigate the caravan and the shrine?
I fear the Lark might leave a note for me at the shrine, if he hasn't already. Aggravating little habit of his. Keep it hidden from the High Priest if you can. He already thinks little of me for how I've handled the Khajiit camp.
How you handled the Khajiit camp?
In short, I haven't. They're Bandari peddlers, a group of nomads with a bit of an unsavory reputation for theft. High Priest Treelam thinks they have something to do with the intended theft of the Talisman of St. Voorhees. I'm not convinced.
Why not?
A caravan of alleged pickpockets taking blame for the Lark's grand larceny? That's preposterous. And worse, it's unjust. Questioning from an armiger seems unnecessarily hostile. I'm glad to send you in my stead.
What will you be doing while I go to the caravan and the temple?
I've got a plan of my own already in motion. Crucial pieces of it need tending to. But I can tell you more about that when we meet up later. Unless you have more questions, I suggest you be on your way.
Alright, we'll head out.
Meet me here when you're done.
Hey. Bossy bit of goods.
All may bask in the talisman's divine glory. From a respectful distance, please.
Oh, why did it take it off? Dearest Releasy, I'd hate for you to think your hard work here has gone unnoticed. I noticed. Talk soon, your Lark of Rosgard. Parables of St. Voorhees. Following the Middle Dawn, St. Voorhees oversaw the expansion of the exalted necropolis. His architects came to him, complaining of porous rock which invited in the sea. St. Voorhees felt the shift in the earth, did not move. As he did, the bones of Golga Morel, curling around the white city and long since turned to brittle stone, rained from the sky and crushed the complainers. This forceful expression of will gives true honor to the ancestors, proclaimed the honored saint. We honor the sacrifice of those who met their end with no delay. The faithful may live to push back the sea and be worthy of being interred in the sacred halls of our necropolis. And so it was that St. Voorhees left Necrom, restless and certain that his end would find him in battle, far from the lands that he called home. With his followers he marched to elsewhere, and when the first village he came to offered no resistance to his presence, he ordered it razed. The scorched earth brings forth new light, bearing the sweetest fruit, said the venerated saint to his followers. See yourself warmed by the lives of others, even if you must set them to flame yourself. And so it followed that the catfolk were wary of St. Voorhees, and fled the path of fire he cut across and Queen. When at last they fought back, he ordered not they meet their deaths, but as they were the strongest of their crop, they should be spared and carried back to Morrowind. We must nourish others and set them forth with seeds in hand, the exalted saint told his followers, that we may see their backs bent in our fields for days unending. Oof.
if you're here to bask in the presence of the Talisman of St. Voorhees, I humbly ask that you do so out of arm's reach. If you have any questions about the relic's history, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
I'm here because Releasy hired me to help her stop the relic from being...
Shh, not so loud. This is a very delicate situation. We need to ensure that what few pilgrims we have aren't scared off by any of this. Relossi hasn't exactly kept us apprised of her plans. What did she send you to do?
She wanted me to search for anything suspicious and assure you she has everything under control.
Of course she did. That's it. I'm sending a priest to shadow her. After Relossi came through to examine the talisman, I've had to stand watch. I've made sure not to let anyone get too close. Especially not any outsiders. It's been exhausting.
Have you had any visitors that weren't dark elves?
Aside from you, there was one other, an Elakajit who asked many questions. Without, I might add, the judgmental sneering typical of most outsiders. I cannot recall his name, but he was alone. I've heard the dangerous ones only travel in groups.
What can you tell me about the history of this shrine?
I'm so glad you asked. This shrine has stood since the dawn of the Second Era in honor of St. Voorhees the Immolent, patron saint of House Telvanni. I am the High Priest, and I oversee the care of our most valued relic, the Talisman of St. Voorhees.
So, the enslaver dude who, yeah, okay. What's the story behind the talisman?
St. Voorhees believed that we honor our ancestors through the forceful expression of will over others. The gem within the relic exemplifies this belief. It was claimed in conquest during his march across elsewhere.
So, St. Voorhees stole the gem from Khajiit and elsewhere.
Not stole, claimed in conquest. The shrine is dedicated to exercising our forceful expression of will. We hope to someday unravel the hidden mystical properties held by the gem that eluded even the great St. Voorhees until his death.
You mean no one has been able to figure out what the gem inside the talisman can do?
Testing one's will on the talisman serves as a humbling reminder that forceful expression of one's will is an unending journey. Salem Mora used to be a haven for aspiring Telvanni, pilgrims eager to test their mettle. But alas, those days are gone.
So people don't visit anymore? Why not?
Most come to visit the crypts. Few stay to properly observe the majesty of the relic. I cannot understand why. Admittedly, we have had an influx of visitors since this Lark character announced his intentions to steal the talisman.
The heist is drawing in more visitors?
I'd hate to think that spectacle was the only thing calling pilgrims to the shrine anymore. And if the Lark succeeds, there won't be anything here worth visiting for at all. Please, make sure Relossi stops him, will you?
Probably not.
Excuse me. Please step back from the relic.
Right. Escape camp. Why are you waving? What are you pointing at? I don't think... Are you having... I mean, I talk to myself all the time. What are you doing? Moving on, I guess.
Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
You know, dude. Thanks for having my back.
Why are we stopping here, when these dark elves lurk about the edges of our camp?
Oh, Shadea. You worry too much. Surely they mean us no harm.
Old fool.
Big kitty. Kitty. Okay. The Eye of Bandar. Let's see. Fears this history will be lost forever to the Bandari. He copies it here so his children's children may know it and make their hearts light. Many ages ago, dark elves crossed the sand of Elsewhere, led by the Fiery One, a mage who had never met a soul he had not wished to conquer. When the Khajiit opened their arms to these when the Khajiit opened their arms to these ash-faced strangers, those who did not have swords buried in their chests were clapped in irons and shipped away, never to be seen again. This one's little ancestor fled with her caravan into the desert. The Fiery One chased them like the thread of sunrise. Far from food and shelter, they were caught with nowhere to run. The Fiery One searched little ancestor and held up a prize, a radish-sized gem, bright as 2 moons, and smooth from being passed between many hands. "What is this?" the Fiery One asked. But little ancestor bit her tongue and said nothing. "It's a sacred thing to you?" Little ancestor was silent still. "It holds great power, does it not?" And at last little ancestor spoke. "It is powerless outside the hands of the Bandari." The Fiery One waved his warriors to stand down. The gem entranced him. "Covet your miserable lives," he told the Bandari. "Weep as I return victorious to my homeland, where my forceful will shall unravel the hidden powers within this sacred gem." And so the Fiery One left the clan in the desert with their miserable lives. But he did not know that little ancestor had been given the gem only that day by her clan mother in exchange for a sweet song to lift everyone's spirit. He did not know that she had planned to give it to her cousin in exchange for his pretty mouth harp that she had always coveted. And so the clan did weep, but only with laughter, for the Eye of Bandar was indeed a sacred thing, but truly worthless outside the hands of the Bandar.
This one's father may not be bothered by the treatment of these mercenaries, but Urishabi cannot say the same.
Luck be with you, Walker. This one is Elier Sodro, Caravan Elder. Our wares and coin are in short supply, but our camp is open to all who may seek to rest and be at ease. What does your heart seek that we may provide?
Has anyone else come through your camp recently?
No. We Bandari are used to scrutiny, but rarely from such a distance. The dark elves in these lands seem colder than most. This is no matter. This one extends his warmest welcomes to you instead.
Did you visit the shrine of St. Voorhees nearby?
The shrine. Oh, that shrine. It is a place holy to dark elves, yes? Of little interest to us Khajiit. This one is late in his years and does not remember. But he may have accidentally wandered through. Yes, that was probably so.
Have you seen any strange activity around your camp?
Ask Shadea. This one thought it sensible to hire protection while crossing a land rife with slavers, and her sharp eyes miss nothing. And you are welcome to ask around our camp, Walker. Make yourself at home among the Bandari.
What brought you to the Telvanni Peninsula?
As Bandari, our travels take us wherever the roads may lead us. The roads happen to lead us here, to this Selen Mora. We sought to stay at the grand outpost east of here, but it seems to be in ruins.
Can you tell me more about the Bandari?
Perhaps you have come across our kind in your travels before. No matter. We are traveling merchants, seeking to sell our wares in all corners of the land. This one was born on the road and has traveled with this caravan all of his days.
So everyone in this caravan is your family?
Shadea and her mercenaries are not, though they would be welcome among us if they desired to be. Our clan opens its arms to those who wish to follow the way of the Bandari. Very different from what this one has seen of these Telvanni, yes?
How long do you think you'll stay here?
This one has seen many years pass, and wearies more easily of travel. He thinks just this one more night will do well for his aching bones. You are welcome to join us, Walker. We have food and tents to spare for those who share our company.
Goodbye.
Well, what did you get?
He's like, yeah, help yourself. And I'm like, sure, I'll take everything.
What is it you want? Your nose is too close to my face.
I don't know. I feel like I'm looking at your waist. Who are you?
This one is called Shadea. She and her mercenaries are here only to protect the caravan for coin. This one dislikes this place and will remain no longer than she must. You have questions? Talk to the elder. This one knows nothing.
Did you visit the Shrine of St. Varys?
This one is not in the habit of paying tithes to foreign saints. The elder may have gone, but he insisted others stay at the camp. Fine by this one, so long as she gets paid.
Have you seen any suspicious activity around your camp?
Yes, a nosy walker came to spy and ask foolish questions. And Shadea was the only one bothered by this. Then again, the elder and his family are Bandari. They are used to being treated like criminals. Anything else, nosy walker?
What do you do exactly?
Stand a bit closer and find out. This one is quick with her blade and does not hesitate to stick it in those who ask for it. Pray that won't be you.
So, you're a mercenary?
Bother someone else if you're looking for a job, Walker. This one's band has no room to cut in another share. These peddlers can barely afford us as it is.
Okay.
Quality material makes for quality goods.
Alright, we're just pretty boring reading. I saved you guys. What are you guys doing there? Pumpkin? I would love a pumpkin.
He's here. The locker's in the crypts. He just slipped past. I just saw him. The Lock of Rosgard. He's in the crypts. Just need a moment to catch my breath.
What happened?
I was setting up protective runes in the crypts when some swift priest came bumbling in after me and set them off. We were forced to flee when the spirits of the interred attacked us, and then the Lock of Rosgard managed to slither into the crypts.
Want to get attacked by the spirits?
He's so slippery, there's no guarantee they'll even slow him down. Quickly, please. If you can help deter the spirits, I'm sure we can corner him and stop this once and for all.
Ready to chase down the Luck of Rosgard. Let's go.
Quickly, into the crypts! We can't let him get away! Hurry! The lock can't be too far ahead!
Gotta get the stuff. Probably crap out of her.
Relasi, who's your friend? Are you ever going to introduce us?
Quit running away, and I'll do more than that.
Perhaps a tactical approach.
We've almost got him.
How invigorating.
We've almost got him. We've almost got him. We've almost got him.
priest had listened to you, Relasi. You know, it's not too late to switch sides.
Shut up! I'm not switching sides! Why are we stopping?
Getting no. No.
I know that fetcher's here somewhere. Let's see if we can draw him out.
The talisman is mine! You know, if you leave that replica where it is, the High Priest would be none the wiser. It could be our little secret.
No! How did he know? Nobody saw me. How could the Lark have known? He has the talisman. The real talisman. I made a replica of the original. Switched it out without the High Priest knowing. Then, I hid the real one down here to keep it safe.
Why would you do that?
The High Priest refused my order to take the relic off display. He thinks it's safe, as long as he's watching it. But the Lark could steal stripes off a cat. If I couldn't stop his heist, I thought I could at least trick him into taking a replica.
Well, he saw through your trick. He left this note for you at the shrine.
That arrogant swit! And if that foolish priest hadn't prematurely set off my runes, I'd have clipped the Lark's wings and had him dead to rights! Tell me this isn't over. Tell me you found something useful. Something at the Khajiit camp, maybe.
Well, the Elder visited the shrine alone. I also found the story he wrote.
A story. Great. What reason would this Elder have to visit the... Wait. Did you read this? His legend says the relic holds this Eye of Bandar. Fetch it all! I need you to get back to the camp quickly, before the High Priest intervenes.
I'll head back to the Bandari camp. What do you want me to do there?
Keep an eye on that Elder. If he's really involved, he may not know the danger he's put himself in. Believe me, even if only one of the Khajiit is conspiring with the Lark, the High Priest will make sure the entire caravan suffers for it.
What are you going to do while I go to the camp?
I'll see to High Priest Treelam. I'll assure him that you're in pursuit of our thief and everything is going as planned. If you don't manage to recover the talisman, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
What if I get there and the Khajiit are gone?
You really think they'd have packed up all those tents and left in the time it took us to get through the crypts? Nobody's that fast. Not even the Lark of Rosgard.
Are you going to tell the High Priest about the talisman?
The replica, you mean? I know what the Lark said. But I actually have principles. A code I try to live by. I can downplay the caravan's involvement, but I'd have to tell the truth about my actions. I've caused enough trouble already.
Are you going to tell the High Priest about the story of the Eye of Bandar?
You mean the third-hand account that directly challenges the religious importance of the most sacred relic in the shrine of this peninsula's most influential patron saint? I wasn't planning on it, no.
Why not?
Did you forget who you're talking to? It's not my place to challenge the faith in any of the patron saints of the great houses. And even if it was, Do you really think that stubborn high priest would give the story any credibility? I don't.
Why is stopping the Lark of Rosgard so important to you?
Because I'm an armiger, I should delight in such a grand and poetic experience. But no matter how clever or prepared I am, every chapter against the Lark ends with me playing the fool. This refrain only ends when I beat him for good. Keep an eye on that Elder.
Alright, stop picking stuff and let's go. I don't have the inventory space
ahead.
for it.
I'll meet up with you. Keep an eye on that Elder.
Another chance at perfection.
Walker, help. Please. They're still alive in the ruins. Walker, please. Save my family.
What happened? Who did this?
Shadea kept pushing to leave. Elir Sudro insisted we stay. And then he told her everything. The relic, the thief, secrets we swore to keep. He spoke on the ice value to the Bandari, but she heard only the promise of coin.
Oh, what did she do with the others?
Took them to the ruins. The relic is the price of their lives. Too late for me, Walker. Please, find the Lark. Save the others.
I'll do what I can. Thief, you do not know, Shande. The Elder told this one everything about his little scheme and your part in it. Shadea thinks the talisman will be a better payout than the meager gold her band is getting from these peddlers. You wish for the Elder and his remaining family to live, bring the talisman to the abandoned outpost east of camp. Any tricks, and we will paint this outpost with the blood of the Bandari.
Everything went off without a... Wait. Where is everyone? What happened here? Did you do this? I knew Relasi was desperate to get me, but I never thought she'd order something like this.
Shadea did this. She left a ransom note.
Shadea? Why did he tell her? That old cat is too quick to assume the good in everyone. And perhaps I'm about to make the same mistake, but I'll ask it plainly. Can I count on your help in rescuing my client and his family or not?
You don't get paid unless you rescue them, do you?
You think the Bandari are paying me? They could barely afford to pay their mercenaries. The Lark of Rosgard never leaves a job unfinished. Simple as that.
Why would you agree to steal something without getting paid for it?
Stealing is so inelegant a word for what I do. I prefer to think of it as reacquisition. And the simple answer is that some things are much better earned than bought. Trust, for example. If I give you the talisman, will I have earned yours?
What's your plan?
When we get to the ruins, I need you to barter with Shadea. Do whatever you can to keep her occupied with the talisman. While you do that, I'll do what I do best. It's a gamble, but I think we can pull it off.
I have some questions first.
I have some answers, but let's not go on too long. As much as I'd welcome seeing Relasi, I think it's best if we keep ahead of her for the moment.
What's your story with her?
She was on duty guarding the Library of Vivec when she almost caught me reacquiring a rare first edition on behalf of the original author. She took it very personally, and she's been obsessed with catching me ever since.
Has she ever come close to catching you?
Oh, sure. Within kissing distance every time we've met. The only reason she hasn't yet is luck. Plain and simple. But you'll never see me admitting that to her. Better to leave her thinking I'm at least one step ahead.
Are you always so flirty with her?
She's obsessed with my every movement. But I'm the flirty one. Sure. Oh, I wonder if she'll be jealous when she finds out we've been working together.
You seem pretty insistent that you worked alone.
I keep telling her we should run away together. That's probably what she tells herself to keep from saying yes.
Why did you agree to steal the talisman?
I met Elier Sudro with a bounty on my head. He could have turned me in for the payout. Instead, he welcomed me into the caravan. And that story of his ancestor tricking St. Voris into coveting the Eye of Bandar always stuck with me.
So, you're repaying him for the favor?
The Bandari believe that favors should be passed on, not repaid. The Lark of Rosgard was born from that idea. Still, we both always wanted to reclaim the Eye of Bandar. So we planned it, with some trickery of our own.
Why did you decide to bring the caravan all the way here for something so risky?
Leave that to the customs of the Bandari. His family wanted to reclaim the Eye just as much as him. Going alone was never an option. Still, the camp was vital to misdirect investigation, just as the Lark of Rosgard serves to misdirect motive.
Do you keep any of the things you steal?
Reacquire, not steal. And no, the only things I keep are memories and my notorious name.
If you left the crypts before me, why did I reach the campsite before you?
You really don't trust me, do you? If you must know, I was waiting until you ran off to try and catch a moment alone with Relasi. If I had known what happened with Shadea, I would have come straight here.
What did you end up saying to Relasi?
Nothing. All the times we met before, there was this fire in her eyes when she pursued me. Now it's gone. I think I pushed her too far this time. I thought making my presence known would have just made things worse, so I left her alone. I'll meet you at the ruins. Remember to keep Shadea talking as long as possible.
Where am I going? The door. Hello.
We can use this.
I already read that. Never mind.
If we must.
Yeah. Gross.
Walker, come no closer or this one will bleed out the elder. Where is the thief?
Shadea, please. This one is sure that Walker means no harm. We can talk through this, yes?
You should have kept your nose to yourself, Walker. This does not concern you.
Oh, I have the talisman of Saint Boris.
What? Where did you... It does not matter. Give it to Shadea, now!
What are you planning on to do? What are you planning to do with the talisman?
With so many hands grasping for it, someone must pay well for it, yes? Shadea is losing patience. Toss it over now.
I'll throw it on the count of 3. 1, 2.
No! Curse you, thief!
Goodbye.
No! You will pay for this, Walker. Surrender the talisman or the others die.
Please, Walker. Save this one's family. Give her the talisman if you must.
That's Relasi. Follow my lead and play along.
Stop right there!
You've tricked me out of the talisman, but you'll never catch me alive!
Scoundrel! This one is not injured, Walker. Perhaps it is a better fate than he deserves.
What happened back at the camp?
This one misplaced his trust, and now pays dearly for it. Those who tried to fight back were killed. Please, Walker, none of this was worth the lives of my family. Save who you can.
I'll follow Shadea and see what I can do.
I came as quickly as I could. As soon as I saw what happened at the camp, I followed the tracks here to the outpost. But Beck, what a terrible thing. If there are any others left alive, we need to save them.
What happened back at the shrine?
I'd have been here sooner, but High Priest Treelam kept badgering me with questions. He hasn't even realized his precious relic was replaced with a fake. When I got there, he'd taken it off the pedestal and was clutching it to his chest.
So you're not worried about finding the original talisman?
While there are lives at stake, I couldn't give a nix. If you can go after them, I'll escort the Elder here safely out of the caverns. Can I still count on you?
Yes, I'll make sure the rest of the Bandari escape safely. The lava was pretty cool. How are we not sweating to death? Alright. Hello.
Give the talisman willingly? Face Shadea's blades and suffer.
Agitation, laceration, wounded.
This one has risked too much.
You are a true friend to the Bandari.
This one shall pay your favor forward.
My thanks, Walker.
Get out of here, guys.
Oh, good. I was starting to get worried. The others just passed me. They're safe. Now, all that remains is to decide the fate of the Talisman of St. Voorhees.
What if Relazi tells the High Priest about you working for the Bandari?
She wouldn't. The only person Relasi wants to suffer for this crime is me. And she still needs to catch me. Besides, if the High Priest knew about her little stunt with the replica talisman, she'd be finished. We've got that we can hold over her.
What if she tells the High Priest the truth about the replica herself?
Way ahead of you. While you were saving the hostages, I doubled back and managed to steal Relasi's replica off the High Priest personally. Serves him right for not listening to my favorite armiger in the first place.
Why did you do that?
So I could give it to you. Will you honor the patron saint of House Telvanni by restoring his shrine's most beloved spoil of war? Or will you don the mask of the pariah and deliver them the replica? The choice is now yours.
You're trusting me to make this decision?
For everyone involved to keep their desired reputations, there is no one else I can trust with this decision. It has to be you. I mean, I know what I'd do, but it's in your hands now.
Why are you trying to help out Relazi?
Relasi has made things hard for herself, remaining a decent person in her line of work. Even her making that replica was done with the best of intentions. Chasing someone for so long with little to no headway can't be easy. She deserves a win.
Oh, you're gonna turn yourself in?
When we've just started having fun? No, no. The Lark's got plenty of work to do, believe me. And if I wind up playing the fool in Relasi's story more often, I think that's something I can live with.
She seems pretty intent on catching you, not just playing the fool.
Relasi follows a code, as did St. Voorhees, as do the Bandari. As I do, and I'm sure you do too. Our codes clash and harmonize. Most of the time, they pass in quiet opposition. I'm holding out hope that Relasi and I will harmonize again someday.
Will failing this heist ruin your reputation?
No, no. See, the important thing here is that Relasi didn't catch me. In fact, you looking like you caught me works in my favor. Trust me, she needs the encouragement. It'll keep her from giving up.
Why is that a good thing for you?
My reputation wouldn't be half of what it is today without Relasi making me notorious. That's a valuable thing to have in a long-term adversary. And she keeps me on my toes. That's useful. Even if I'd much rather she have me on my back.
Explain this choice to me. Why does it matter that I have both the replica and the original? I feel like this is a stupid question. We know why.
As far as Relasi knows, you only have the original talisman. If you give the original to Elier Sudro and the replica to Relasi, she'll have to pretend it's the real thing. Or get herself in a whole world of trouble by admitting how she lost it.
And if I give her the original?
Then you'll have honored the tribunal and saved the shrine of St. Voorhees from a fate of worshipping a worthless trinket with no real mystical properties for time immemorial. Or perhaps they'd be doing that either way. Who can say?
You don't feel any sympathy for the followers, do you?
What they don't know won't hurt them. The Eye of Bandar has been lost for generations, and yet the Bandari kept its legend alive through stories. Is the faith in St. Voorhees so fragile that the loss of one relic would send it crumbling?
What exactly is the significance of the Eye of Bandar, anyway?
That question, my friend, would be best asked of Elior Sudro. Though if you've heard the tale of his little ancestor, you may have some understanding of it already. See you around, stranger. And send my fondest farewells to Relasi, will you?
The Walker has returned. 1,000 blessings to you, Savior of the Bandari. This one mourns those lost when Shadea's greed overtook her. But we would have lost so much more if it were not for you, Walker. This one knows not how to express his thanks. The buoyant Armiger, she failed to catch our tricky friend, yes?
The lark is gone. I have the Talisman of St. Voorhees.
Ha! So, the fate of the Eye of Bandar falls to you. Whichever way you choose, Walker. This one asks only that you do not use what you learned today about the Eye to challenge the faith of those who serve at this shrine.
I have some questions about the Eye of Bandar.
This one grew up hearing the story of his little ancestor, sparing the life of her caravan by tricking the Fiery One into his obsession with the Eye. Now, this one followed his own obsession, and lost many. Ask what you will. This one will answer.
What is the real significance of the Eye of the Bandari?
Ah, by all appearances, it is a simple gem trapped within a gilded talisman, yes? The Eye of Bandar is a relic traded between clans of Bandari. The holder may ask for any item, any favor within means, and the receiver must provide.
So it is really worthless outside the hands of the Bandari.
Should you break it free from the talisman, you would see. It is moonstone, worth very little coin, yes? And yet, it is rubbed smooth and small from passing between the hands of my people. A symbol of indulgence and trading in good faith.
It's actually really quite sweet if you think about it. Heartbreaking that it was stolen from them. Why didn't you want the High Priest to know the truth about the Talisman of St. Voorhees?
You mean that the Eye of Bandar inside the relic has no hidden magic at all? By the code of the Bandari, such words would be unwelcome in the ears of those who follow St. Voorhees. They would cause harm, and so we discourage them.
You think the followers of St. Voorhees would do the same for you?
This one cannot say, Walker. This one only has the code of the Bandari to indulge the beliefs of others. Besides, to wield the truth in such a way would ruin the most fragrant mischief of the story of the little ancestor, yes?
Yep. I'm gonna give you the real talisman. Of course I am.
Walker, this one is at a loss for words. Our caravan will pay forward your generosity 1,000 times, but what will become of the shrine of St. Voorhees?
I'll give them the replica talisman that Lizzie made. They won't realize the difference. Right, guys?
Very good, Walker. Very good. You are clever as the pariah, Walker. This one wishes you luck and safe travels in every endeavor. May our roads meet again, friend of the Bandari.
Oh, we became friends of the Bandari again. Yay! Quicker than my last gameplay. Anyway.
you're back, just as we planned.
Yep. Sure do.
The lot got away, but the remaining Khajiit are safe, right? Then it's a victory in my book. Did you recover anything else for me?
This is for you.
I recognize my handiwork. I'll be a hero returning this to the shrine. It's a false victory, but no one needs to know that besides us. Take your payment. If we meet again, I hope it will be after I've taken the upper hand on the Lark of Rosgard. What happened today was a setback, but the knowledge is my burden to bear. No one needs to learn from it except me. I'll make it right by capturing the Lark of Rosgard next time. I swear.
So, what will you do now, Ralazi?
I'll send a report to my superiors. I'll remain in Salem Mora for a few days, just to make sure it's safe. And then I'll likely be back on the trail of the Lark of Rosgard.
How did you manage to make such a convincing replica of the talisman?
Oh, I've always had an eye for that sort of thing. The sacred gem looked enough like moonstone that I made it work in a pinch. A little bit of weathering, using some basic spells, and that's it. Sometimes I wonder if I got in the wrong line of work.
And how did you manage to replace the original with the replica without the High Priest noticing?
It's just being furtive and aware of your surroundings. I suppose I have some sort of intuition I've picked up from my work on... You know what? I'm going to stop this line of questioning right here.
She's got more in common with the Lark than she realizes. Or maybe she just did realize. What did I say?
No. I get enough teasing about how good a thief I'd be from the Lark of Rosgard. I don't need it from you two. Now run along before I decide to change my mind about not taking anyone into custody for this case.
Goodbye.
Armiger Relossi, your efforts in returning this relic to our shrine will be noted. Thank you again for your service. I would say that we are in your debt, but this is what Relossi hired you for, is it not? I did want to ask you something. I noticed that the talisman appears a little different.
Different how?
It's changed somehow. The gem inside seems to have a different sort of luster. I rather wonder if your forceful expression of will in seeing its safe return has somehow tapped into its hidden power. It's an exciting development, to say the least.
Has anyone else seen any change in the talisman?
I've heard nothing. But of course, no one knows the talisman as intimately as I do. Our relic being threatened as it was has to mean we'll have an influx of pilgrims soon. Perhaps others will be able to provoke it further.
Goodbye.
I sometimes wonder what becomes of our enchantment efforts.
Oh, what? Xander.
Cohort, I have exceptional news. My preparations are completed, and the time is now. Time to return to our fate-weaving adventure.
Oh, what are we doing?
This is what I like about you, Cohort. You're results-driven, focused. Oh, I'm ready to take the next step, build on the work that we did to smooth my fraying fate line. And one day, fix the Fate Weaver key. Ha!
Sounds like you have a plan.
More than that, I have a revelation. Let's away to my Sanctum Sanctorum. It lies at the heart of Skywatch in Oregon. There we can strive for a new destination, improve the key, and put my research into action.
Alright, let's head to your sanctum.
My sanctum is in a ruin at the center of Skywatch. Can't miss it. Don't mind the sentinels posted by the entrance. A compromise between myself and Tellinger of the Mages Guild.
So to continue the experiment, Xander wants us to travel to a Sanctum Sanctorium, currently in the center of the town at Skywatch. I know I said goodbye, but that kicked off a bunch of quests with him, and so I figured I'd better see what he wanted.